Hello and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live from our studios at Kokomlimle Joy99.7 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we are live on Love 99.5 FM and affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including ATL FM Cape Coast, Kekeli Radio Ho, and Radio Max Takrady. Better still, download the My Joy Online app from the Play Store and App Store to listen live anywhere around the world. And coming up,
if we've been entrusted to do a job, just put your brains to it, put your attention to it, put your commitment to it, and do it. If you cannot do it, ask permission and leave. Leave the scene. Somebody is prepared to do the job.
Disappointment as majority of CEOs of state-owned enterprises failed to turn up at workshop called to discuss draft corporate governance code for their institutions. We'll hear from the Director General, who warns there will be consequences for CEOs who fail to abide by the code once it's passed.
The failure to abide by the code when it's finished, read the SIGA Act. There are sanctions that goes to the extent of even removal from office.
Also coming up, National Road Safety Authority demands urgent government action on the use of tricycle, popularly known as pragya, for commercial transport.
Well, we have raised the red flag. That is an area we must look at. And moving forward, we must take a very strong position. The best we are doing for now is that we are doing the education.
Details as we shed light on the story of a 22-year-old woman who not only lost a 5-month-old baby, but also her left leg in a ghastly pragya accident.
They were asking of 6,000 Ghana cedis. So I asked my mom whether they can afford that money for them to do it for me. She told me that yes.
Some teachers petitioned Shraj alleging cost for government's one teacher, one laptop scheme has been inflated. We have details of their petition, plus claims the machine is substandard. Also, the exciting weekend event that may put you on the path of owning a home. And in showbiz, just because you're a talented singer, it doesn't make you a good songwriter. Becca's former manager, Kiki Banson, shares how a group of people used to write for the songstress.
Her songs were written by a group of people. You may be a talented singer, doesn't necessarily mean you're a good singer.
And in sports,
1992 Olympic bronze winner Yao Preko wants Ghanaians to give coach C.K. Akono some more time to deliver as Black Stars coach. That's in 20 minutes.
And Nathaniel has the details. I'm Barbara Coombs, and thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. In our first story, the Director General of the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, is disappointed in the conduct of some CEOs of state-owned enterprises who failed to show up for a workshop. This is an event to deliberate on a draft code of corporate governance for state-owned enterprises. Mr. Asamoah Boateng, who admitted the event was streaming online, said it's still not enough that just a third of the participants had showed up. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in July this year revealed that SOEs recorded a net loss of 586.4 million cedis, and as at the end of year 2019, Mr. Asamoah Boateng said indiscipline is partly to blame for the situation. He urged CEOs and board members to ask permission and leave if they cannot do the work assigned them.
Those who have not been with us today, although they were invited, I'm sort of disappointed. Because this is such a crucial document that will impact on your entities and your lives as a CEO, as a board member, as a board chair. Invitations went out. My team has been calling. And here we are, about just a third or half. I know some of you are joining us virtually. I don't know the number, but I will do the count later on. My concern is that I've been around for so long in Ghana politics and in the economy so much that one of the things that we fail to acknowledge is time management and the discipline of work. If we've been entrusted to do a job, just put your brains to it, put your attention to it, put your commitment to it, and do it. If you cannot do it, ask permission and leave. Leave the scene. Somebody is prepared to do the job.
So that's Stephen Asamoah Boateng, Director General of the State Interest and Governance Authority. Joseph Akoble covered that event for us. He is just returned, joins me in studio. Joseph, Mr. Asamoah Boateng says the event was streamed online. So why does he want them to be at the workshop?
And so he was making a point about how he believes that individuals who are given the mandate to run entities that belong to the state generally conduct themselves. And he makes the point that he was going to check the online platform to see how many showed up. And he believes that participation is important because they need to bring up ideas that shape this particular code of conduct, especially because it will have consequences by way of either remuneration that is being taken away from someone or being sacked if you fail to abide by it.
If we take our job seriously and attend to these matters in a disciplined manner, we won't be surprised with documents and workshops like this, which is impacting on the job we do. Because the failure to abide by the code when it's finished, read the SIGA Act, there are sanctions. Sanctions that goes to the extent of even removal from office, or even the dissolution of the board, if we apply it properly. And so there are consequences, and there are even sanctions that affect your remunerations. So if we call such an important meeting and it's one of those workshops, and which I know, we're getting workshop fatigue in Ghana at some point, but this is not an ordinary workshop. And SIGA is not an ordinary organization. If you remember what the president said in inaugurating the 9-member board of SIGA, he says, new king, new law. SIGA become the old establishment that never saw a change. But we want to make a change, a positive one as such. So this is my own mind. This is not a speech.
Joseph, so let's talk about this code, for which reason the CEOs were invited. What does it seek to achieve?
And so according to the Minister for Public Enterprises, Joseph Kujo, it essentially has to do with making state-owned enterprises productive, because over the period, government has noticed that they run at a loss and it doesn't help by way of making revenue. The same money that the state has to use to develop the nation is being given to them to run their business, but they end up running at losses.
Crystal clear objective to make specified entities, which comprises state-owned enterprises, joint venture companies, and other state entities, perform productively, efficiently, and profitably. When the president carries this vision to solve a problem, which is that state-owned enterprises and other state institutions have not achieved the objective for which they were set up, that is, operate, make money, support government budget for government to deliver public goods and services, and you become problematic to the state, every day calling for capital injection when you have assets at your disposal to use to make money to support government.
That's Joseph Kujo, Minister for Public Enterprises. It's time for our Drive Safe campaign.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.
Now, the National Road Safety Authority is demanding urgent government action on the use of tricycles, popularly known as pragya, for commercial transport. The authority says close to 40% of deaths recorded through accidents this year are attributable to motorcycles and tricycles, popularly referred to as pragya and aboboya. Although Ghanaian laws frowned on the use of tricycles for commercial purposes, they are used nationwide commercially. Director in charge of planning and programming at the authority, David Osafo-Adonting, says the deaths from tricycles are rising at an alarming rate. We'll hear from him shortly. First, listen to the story of a young single mother with her own struggles in life, but with very high hopes of a bright future where she would be fulfilled as a school teacher. One road accident is all it took for those hopes to be lost and replaced with suicidal thoughts. This is the story of Mercy Mbugri, a 22-year-old woman who lost a 5-month-old baby and had her left leg amputated after a ghastly accident in Bolgatanga in the Upper East region. For our Drive Safe campaign, correspondent Albert Sore tells the story of Mercy.
I couldn't even eat. I cried the whole day. The whole day.
Tears as Mercy Mbugri recounts her ordeal after losing her 5-month-old daughter and her own leg in a road accident. She is only 22, and still has her whole life ahead of her. But life suddenly seems like a horrible nightmare she wishes she could just put an end to.
I'm on pain too much. They should keep praying for me.
Mercy graduated from the senior high school in 2019 and had a baby a year later. She was assisting her aunt, who operates a restaurant and with whom she has lived since she was a child. Mercy says life has not always been easy, but she was hardworking and hoped to further her education in the Teachers Training College.
So I decided to ask my aunt what happened. And she told me that we had an accident. So I asked her, where is my baby? She was telling me different story. I don't even understand what she was trying to tell me.
One fateful afternoon in February this year, she boarded one of these commercial tricycles, popularly called Mahama Kandu, in Bolgatanga. She was going to the market with her daughter, but they never got to their destination. A car crashed with their tricycle, and when Mercy opened her eyes, she was in the hospital. Her baby was nowhere to be found, and doctors came with the news that her left leg was going to be amputated.
The baby died at the spot, and the doctor even said that they've already damaged the leg, so they have to amputate it.
Within a short period of time, all the good plans for her life had suffered a major setback, and all she now sees ahead of her is a life of hopelessness and despair. Mercy is now hopeful that she can get back to her life if she could get some help.
They were asking of 6,000 Ghana cedis. So I asked my mom whether they can afford that money for them to do it for me.
For now, 22-year-old Mercy Mbuguri can only pray, remain hopeful, and face each day of her life with patience and endurance. Albert Sorry, Joy News, Bolgatanga.
We can now hear from Director in charge of Planning and Programming at the National Road Safety Authority, David Osafo Adonting.
Pragia, Abuboya, and the rest, leading to a lot of loss of lives and many people losing properties and all that. Has some of these things come to the attention of the Road Safety Authority, and how are you dealing with it?
Well, I think that issue of the use of tricycles, together with the issue relating to the use of motorcycles in the past couple of months since last year, has come up very, very, very strongly on the agenda of road safety management in the country. We are all aware of the statistics and the figures that we always put out there when we are accounting for the periodic, usage of the road and all that. And you could always see how pronounced the figures are in terms of the contribution from the motorcycles and the tricycles. It so suggests that there's a problem, which we have, as a lead agency in road safety management, have clearly admitted that we have a big problem in the use of motorcycles and tricycles in the country.
David Osafo Adonting is Director in charge of Planning and Programming at the National Road Safety Authority. Well, the Joy Research Desk has been digging into the deaths related to motorcycle accidents. My colleague Manuel Karanting joins me in studio with details. What does the data say?
So, Rabba, let's start with motorcycle crashes in the month of August 2021. Data provided by the police MTTD shows that a total of 488 motorcycle crashes resulted in 93 persons losing their lives, leaving 400 others injured. Now, this includes crashes from Okada, from Pragia, and Abuboya. Now, further analysis points out that deaths from motorcycles alone accounted for almost 50% of all the total number of deaths recorded as a result of road crashes in
August. When you track this down to the beginning of the year, you have 822 persons being killed in motorcycle crashes with over 3,000 injuries in just 8 months.
And already something is being done by some regional ministers. Which regions are taking action?
So, Arba, the good news is that 3 regions, Ashanti, Bono, and Northern, have all started taking steps to help curb this menace, focusing more on the deaths associated with crashes involving Pragya.
All right, many thanks, Manuel Coranting, with those details. Now, the Attorney General's office is preparing for committal proceedings against 3 people standing trial in the murder of social activist Ibrahim Mohammed in Idra. The proceedings are to prepare grounds for full trial of the accused persons at a higher court. A duplicate docket has been forwarded to the AG's office by the police prosecution team. Isaka Ibrahim, also known as Anyas, and Fusaini Al-Hassan, both known NPP polling station executives, and Idi Mohammed, a brother of the late social activist, are accused of murdering Kaka Macho. My colleague Ohimin Tewia, who was in court, joins us on the line with more. Ohimin, bring us up to speed on proceedings in court today.
Yes, Araba, when the case was called in court, Chief Superintendent Kofi Blagwoji, who is leading the police prosecution, said the docket has been sent to the Attorney General's office. This was actually confirmed by counsel for the third accused person, that indeed he followed up at the Attorney General's office, and he can confirm that the Attorney General is actually working on the docket. So what it means is that the Attorney General will have to be in court at the Asokwa District Court and then start the committal proceedings to prepare the grounds for the case to be called at the higher court. Chief Superintendent Kofi Blagwoji spoke to us and explained the importance of this whole exercise.
Basically, what happened today is that we confirmed to the court that the docket is gone to the AG's office. And then counsel from the other side of the accused persons also confirmed that he even followed to the AG's office. They said the police has given the docket to the AG. And then the AG are preparing to come to court to do the commuters. You know, it's not the police who do the commuters, it's the AG. So the AG will be in court. So the court agenda matter to 23rd.
All right, Ohiming is still on the line with us. Ohiming, we understand that Mohammed Idi, who is brother of the late Kaka Macho, had to be sent to hospital. Was the court told exactly what was wrong with him?
Yes, the counsel for Idi was in court and told the court that he was satisfied that after his client fell ill, he has to be arranged for a medical attention at the Kompanochi Teaching Hospital. But later, his brother, nephew Mohammed, told us his condition was feverish and he's also been vomiting. And he explained this in this interview.
He was having a fever and he's also vomiting. So actually, he cannot be detained with such conditions. So we have to talk with those in charge. He was sent to the hospital rather. So we directed our brother to come and see those in charge so that he'll be sent to hospital. That was done and he was sent to hospital. He was detained. Actually, he was detained at the hospital from the morning and he was discharged around 5:30 p.m. So later, when he was back to the cell, he was in with some drugs. But the laxity we found it there was, the problem is that they were not giving him the medication. We have to call in the lawyer to follow up so that his medication will be given to him so that he will be strong and healthy.
Ohiming, what about the family of Isaka Ibrahim or Anyas? They've spoken for the first time too. What have they been telling you?
Yes, but for the very first time, the family of Anyas were in court and opened up to the media. All these were, they've declined media, interviews and all that. But today, his brother, Bala Isaka, told me that what they expect is that once the full trial begins, their brother will walk free.
Yeah, Kashi, ever say you want a process in the Bako? Mrano, be Mrabedano, inshallah, wallahi, they be a bumpire, say, and Crabedadi, say, and young Colano, into the man tea and car, and yes, and Nifu say, I, alas, a man to family, Akabibia, first town, I mean, because I don't know, inshallah, say, the court to be, because I am Crenadao. Police for Abba, just I be interviews at the end.
Ohiming, kindly just translate what the brother of Isaka Ibrahim was saying right now.
Yes, this is Bala Isaka. He says that the family has kept quiet all these while, hoping that they allow the process to continue. And once the process is running smoothly to the extent that police have come all the way to Ejura to do some interviews and investigate the matter. They are very hopeful that their relatives, he mentioned Anyas and then Alasa, they will be exonerated.
Many thanks, Ohim Interior, with those details from court. And as you heard him say, the Attorney General's office is preparing for committal proceedings against 3 people who are standing trial in the murder of social activist Ibrahim Mohammed, also known as Kaka Macho, in Ejura. You're listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We're taking a short break, but before we do, our top story: disappointment as majority of CEOs of state-owned enterprises failed to turn up at workshop called to discuss draft corporate governance code for their institutions. We heard from the Director General of SIGA. Also, National Road Safety Authority demands urgent government action on the use of tricycles, popularly known as pragya, for commercial use. Still ahead, some teachers petition Shraj alleging cost for government's one teacher, one laptop scheme has been inflated. We have details of their petition, plus claims the machine is substandard. And in showbiz, just because you're a talented singer, it doesn't make you a good songwriter. Becca's former manager, Kiki Banson, shares how a group of people used to write for the songstress.
Her songs were written by a group of people. You may be a talented singer, doesn't necessarily mean you're a good songwriter.
The boys are back, oh! The boys are back! Imagine inviting great footballers like Ronaldo, Messi, and Mbappe into your home. Imagine feeling the big mad temperament of football's fiercest rivals in your living room. Imagine enjoying the home ground advantage of witnessing the best of Serie A, La Liga, Premier League, UEFA Europa, and many more leagues all in English. Or stop imagining. Just get a GoTV decoder now at 89 Ghana cedis and upgrade to GoTV Max to turn your home into the home ground of great football. To purchase a new decoder, SMS GoTV to short code 1731. GoTV. Love it.
You're welcome back to the Midday News with me, Araba Kumson. In studio is Nathaniel Atto with sports. What's in sports, Nathaniel?
Well, this man won the bronze medal for football in 1992 and he's currently a coach. I'm talking about striker Yao Preko, who's held coaching roles at Elmina Sharks, Accra Great Olympics, Mediama SC, as well as the Ghana Under-20 team. He's also a former Black Stars playmate of Siki Akono. Now, he says that Ghanaians should give the Black Stars coach some more time to deliver on the job as Black Stars coach. Now, Siki Akono has come under great criticism following the loss suffered to South Africa in the World Cup qualifier 2022 yesterday in South Africa. As a result of the game and the result, the Black Stars are currently on the second spot in the group, in Group D of the ongoing qualifiers. Let's take a listen to Yao Preko.
Sacking is too early. It's just 2 games. He has already qualified us to the World Cup, to the AFCON, and we just played 2 matches in. So why do we have to push the panic button? No. We have to take it easy. I know how everybody is feeling. That you sack him now, you bring another coach, and you don't qualify. He will tell you his time is very short, and that you need to give him time. If he doesn't qualify, are you going to sack that one too? Then we'll end up sacking. Let's give him the support. Let's give him the benefit of that. We know he can do it. We have to believe in him. Sometimes when the bashing is too much, the person gets confused. Let's give him the backing, and with a good backing and a good support from all of us in these 2 matches against Zimbabwe. Let's go 100% on support on him, and I know he will deliver.
Interesting conversations, and the conversations are ongoing on Twitter as well, where the coach has been trending. Yes. Do you think he should be sacked?
It's a very broad conversation we need to have, because I have misgivings about the way the structure is put around our Ghanaian coaches. Let me ask you a very simple question, even though I'm not the one asking the questions here.
Okay.
When was the last time that you ever heard an expatriate coach owed so many months in arrears in salary?
I don't recall.
You see, so that goes to tell us that there is something around the psychology of getting our own Ghanaian coaches to handle that role.
Right.
It means that we need a lot more time to discuss this. I'll be waiting for you in the newsroom.
Definitely. Thank you, Nathaniel Actor with sports. Now, some teachers in public basic schools have petitioned the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SRAJ, to investigate what they suspect to be the inflation of prices for laptops procured for distribution to teachers across the country. Under government's One Teacher, One Laptop scheme, 280,000 laptops are being distributed to Ghanaian teachers to aid in their work. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia launched the initiative last week, under which teachers will pay 30%, whilst government takes care of the rest. We'll hear from them shortly. First, my colleague Kweku Asante joins me in studio with details of the petition to SRAJ. Kweku, what does the petition say?
Right, so this group is a registered trade union, and they say that the request for investigation has become necessary due to the fact that the procurement of 280,000 laptops ought to result in a significant reduction in the price for teachers and the taxpayer to pay. The cost of each laptop is purported to be 1,550 cedis, and we suspect this amount is inflated. The highest price for this TM1 laptop, in our estimation, must not be more than 600 Ghana cedis, given the specifications of this laptop. So they want SRAJ to establish that certain procurement processes were breached.
And we also know that they've raised issues with the Ghana Education Service allegedly forcing all teachers to buy the laptop. What is the GES's response to that?
Right, so this group wrote through its lawyers to the GES. What GES told them was that they should submit the names of all the members under their group, so that they will remove the names from the submission list.
All right. Many thanks, Kweku Asante, with those details. Let's speak now to Stephen Desu. He's president of Innovative Teachers, one of the teacher groups raising the concern. Many thanks for your time. First, clarify for us what exactly your issues with the procurement of these laptops are.
Yes. Good afternoon, Araba. The procurement issue that you are raising here, we gave the petition to SRAJ as far back as 18th March 2021. And as we speak, SRAJ officials have not found it expedient to send the complaints that we have filed against the Ministry of Education to them for them to answer questions on it. But the bone of contention now is not even about the question we are raising about procurement. It is about the quality of the laptop that has been procured for teachers to use in Ghana. This product, called a laptop that Ministry of Education has imported, we suspect that it is not standard product that has been brought into Ghana for teachers. If to them, you think that they will import such standard laptop for them, they will be using Apple. This year, they've been given $28 million to procure cars. Are they going to procure this car from whichever country the same way they have done for us?
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that these machines are substandard. You want Apple rather than, say, Dell or any other product.
We want known brands so that when it gets spoiled, it can be fixed. The question again here is that the law on procurement of ICT products by government agencies is that the agency must sign an MOU with the company so that when the computers get spoiled, it can be fixed by the company.
So what is the brand of computers that you're being provided with? What is the brand?
It is brandless. It has no name. They have written TM1. When we asked them what's the meaning of TM1, they said it is Teachers Mate 1. Which brand is this? Which company imported this thing here? Which company manufactured this laptop? Do they have a track record of manufacturing laptops? However, don't forget about Joy FM documentary on the NLA procurement of point-of-sale devices, if you remember. This procurement is akin to that.
All right. We'll have to leave it here. Your point is very well made. Thank you so much. That's President of Innovative Teachers, Stephen Desu there. Now let's turn our attention to other things. And are you looking for a parcel of land or a home to buy? There's something exciting happening this weekend. It's the mini clinic of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. It will be live from the Achimota Mall, where exhibitors will showcase various products and services. If you're looking for a mortgage or a piece of land to build that dream house, look no further. Head to the Achimota Mall this weekend to meet the people who can enable this dream. Time for entertainment now, and Mapito joins me in studio. Mapito, so
we're talking songwriting and the art of songwriting. So Kiki Benson, who is Becca's former manager, was on Showbiz A2Z with George Quay and says, you know what, you can be a talented singer, but not a very good songwriter. And it's okay to have a group of people behind you to write your songs for you. Listen.
I think on the second album, she had learned and had begun to get to understanding what songwriting said. Her songs were written by a group of people.
Why did the label take that decision?
The fact that you can sing doesn't mean so people, you have people who are blessed with the art of writing. To put a piece of music out, for me, the best thing to do is to bring talents together, songwriters, producers, arrangers. So you get a team where you find people that you believe have strength in the various aspects that come together to make a song. So yes, you may be a talented singer, doesn't necessarily mean you're a good singer.
All right. Of course, even Beyonce doesn't write all her songs.
I know. Even Michael Jackson didn't write all of his songs. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing at all.
That's
Thank
right.
you so much, Mapitso. And that's how we end the news. Our top stories. National Road Safety Authority is demanding urgent government action on the use of tricycles, popularly called pragya, for commercial transport. It comes after a 22-year-old woman who not only just lost her 5-month-old baby, she also lost her left leg in a gassy pragya accident. Also, disappointment as majority of CEOs of state-owned enterprises failed to turn up at workshop called to discuss draft code of conduct. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Have a lovely afternoon. I'm Arba Kumsin.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is.